Good morning, and welcome to the beginning of the week analysis. So, I already had my coffee because I made a 37-minute video that I didn't realize was 37 minutes long. I didn't know I could talk for that long. So, we're going to make a shorter video. So, my coffee's all gone. But let's talk about it. Okay. First of all, let's talk about the little short that I called from this box on Friday. Okay. I saw a nice zone here. Before I called this short, I actually called a long from like here because I've been saying we're going to make this move. The short that I called was only to get down a little bit deeper before we ascended. Okay. Weekend, just like it stops upward volume, it stopped downward volume. Simple as that. We had a stop loss above this resistance line, so got stopped out on the push here, which is great. Didn't even lose 1% of the futures account. So nothing to be ashamed of. We hit a stop loss. We're making our run. Okay. Let's talk about a daily time frame, and then we'll break it down. Okay. On the daily, making our WXY. Did not make a new low on X, which is great. We just made this low here. This push is telling me that we're trying to break this W. This push is not confirmed until we break W, okay? I'm not going to sit here and try to predict this anymore. I've been trying to predict for some of the scalpers. I'm not predicting. I'm going to give conditions, and if we break something, we break something. If we don't, we don't, okay? Bottom line is, I want to see Bitcoin push past the peak of W. When we confirm that, we confirm that we are actually in our X leg. If we fail, again, like we failed here, to break W and we come down and test this low, then there's a potential that we're still trying to make an X here. Okay? A potential. So I'm not saying this is the case. I'm just telling you these are the two scenarios I'm looking at. Either X is in place and we're making a run to break W, or we fail again below W and make a new X. I'm leaning towards this because this wave looks impulsive. That's why I have a little impulse drawn here. Okay? This wave looks impulsive. Not saying it's going to be impulsive, but it looks impulsive. If it is, short-term targets on the impulse, we're looking at 32,149. And that's just simple from drawing this up. Okay? These are just short-term targets. Not saying it's for sure. So, not saying to scalp long it. If you guys want to long this whole run, long the run. Great. I'm not calling it. What I am calling is that our WXY, if this is for sure our X leg now, remember, if we break W on the way up here, then what I'll be looking at is what type of internal structure, it's more than likely a correction, but we'll see. What type of internal structure is this wave? Okay? How's it going to play out? Depending on what the internal structure is, I can pull out my targets for more of a sniper entry up here. For now, all I'm calling is a short. A WXY has an extension zone of a 1.0 to a 1.618, and right now that's from 34,606 to 38,309. This is my short zone. I will tighten this and do like this, or however we need to, whatever it is. I will tighten this up when we get down to or when we find the internals of this wave. Okay. Litecoin Ethereum, same thing. Same analysis. Here's the target zone, 85 to 98. Ethereum, same thing. Target zone, 2363 to 2649. Now, let's talk about something on the daily for Bitcoin, and then we'll move to indices. Everybody asks me why I believe this is our level down here. Okay. We're making a correction. We've talked about this. This is a complex correction, WXY. We also have confirmation of an ABC here. And both of these points are reaching excuse me, sorry. Both of these points are reaching a 1.0 extension down here. And once we hit this 1.0 extension, then I'll be bullish again. But we generally hit a 1.0 extension. I think only really an act of God is going to stop that. Now, here's the only thing, okay, on the daily. If we make a higher B, well, B is also Y, okay? If we make a higher B and a higher Y, watch what happens, okay? Watch what happens to the B. Let's say we decide to impulse way up and out here, kind of like we did back here. Remember when we were trying to chart all this out and we had a zone right around here, okay? And we just continued almost, it was over a 2.0 extension on this impulse up and out, okay? On this correction here. It's possible we could correct an impulse up as long as we're not passing a certain percentage. I believe it's 50% on this. I'll have to double check. I believe it's 50%. But let's say we come up to even like 41. Well, look what happens. There's no more 12K for me. I would rule out 12K as a bottom. I would say that the deepest we go is maybe 18 flat. Okay? So I'm not saying we have to go to 12. I'm saying it all depends on where this goes to. Where do we go here? Okay? I am not, here, let me get rid of this for now, because I don't want people to get confused. I'm not predicting that. These waves right now are based off of drawing these internals. Okay? And this is just at the minimum extensions. Okay? These are just minimum extensions. 1.0 here, 1.0 here. Okay? Period. Or, well, I did this as a 1.236 to be in the middle. But because if I do this as just a 1 and I bring this down to the 1, I mean, that's a lot of doom. You know, that's 11,548. People will get upset. So I'll just leave it here. Okay. So the higher we go in this correction, the less we have to go down to complete it. Okay. So let's see if bulls can bring price action up high this week, maybe even into next week, and this ends up as a 2-week correction. We'll see. Or 3-week. We've already been through a week. We're going to do a second week. So let's see where it goes. Short-term bullish. Short-term bullish. Midterm bearish. Long-term, we've talked about this already. You guys know my thoughts. Long-term, we're have a major impulse upwards, and we're going to see more upside. Okay, so there's your Bitcoin. Let me get back to the hourly because I like to sit on my lowest time frame here. Never again will you see me get on the 15, guys. Never again. I'm never calling a scalp again, dude. I'm just going to call my zones when we hit them. All right? So, indices, quickly. NQ in my major demand, or my bigger demand box. This is my, even though it's bigger, it's a minor demand. The major demand is here. Barely tapped it. Didn't get an entry. Waiting for a deeper push. I believe we are shortening our wave 3. As long as wave 5 is the shortest wave here, this is a valid impulse. Okay. These are some short-term targets for myself just to kind of help me chart through NQ. I am not buying or selling in this zone. I repeat, I am not buying or selling in this zone. When we get here, I'm not selling at all now that we're in the minor demand box. Once we get in the major demand box, I will buy. So I'll probably start buying as soon as we break 11,477. Okay. Yes. Barely tapped in demand zone. Now, again, there's a larger box here, and this is a minor demand zone. That's why we're getting these nice impulsive reactions up and out. We are in, I just didn't put the minor box on here. The major box is here. We should tap it. Going to be buying ES here. Again, not really shorting ES either. I don't think it's a good idea considering we're in a minor demand. RTY is the only incomplete cycle. I still think that RTY is going to have a nice impulse leg down. Okay. I think that we may have a pullback to here, But if you got short from my box, then congratulations, you can stay short. Doesn't matter that we're doing all this mess. That's why we did June expiry. We'll get all the way down here pretty quick, okay? By the time June comes around, we should be hitting our targets of minimum 1651, more than likely 1579 and beyond, okay? So that's my expectation of RTY. I'll do Nifty on Mondays just because a few people have asked me about it. Think we're doing a WXY on the Nifty. Everything kind of charts out that way. Short term, really short term, looking at a max of like 16.6 on the Nifty, and then we take another dive. From which point we correct up a little bit again, and then we take another dive. So lots of just up and down here on the Nifty. This is a minor and major demand zone for me, as you can see here. I don't think we get as deep as this. Actually, I think this box is supposed to be like this. My bad, Craig. Yes, here you go. So minor demand from this point, no more shorts. Actually, we've hit the minor demand. So no more shorts on Nifty for me, just waiting it out until we get to here, and we can buy Nifty. USDX, because it's important, look how nicely we hit a 1.0 extension. Look how nicely it bounced off of the 886. Remember, we talked about this last week, how my 1.0 extension lined up exactly with the 886. Look where we bounced, right at a 1.0 extension. So technically, it has hit a 1.0. Okay, we could be making a wave 4 right now. Could be. If that's the case, this may not reach this zone. Okay, it may not reach this zone. Repeat that before you guys get crazy. We may not reach this zone if USDX decides to start taking off again on a wave 5. Okay, it's a major thing to pay attention to. If USDX decides to keep trickling down to like a 1, 2, 3, 6, possible it goes to a 1, 6, 1, 8. This is possible. Okay, if we trickle down into this zone, that's what's going to help give us this. So expecting a little bit more downside in USDX, expecting a little bit more. It's possible that we don't get additional downside. What I'm hoping is that this is the play. What I'm hoping is that this is the play. Because, let's see. Yeah. Well, we would actually need to do this. This would be valid. Okay. So what I'm hoping is this, right? Or even the 4 possibly could come here. And the 4 doesn't really matter. What matters is this target and this target. So what I'm hoping is that we do this, get a 1618 extension on the larger frame, smaller frame, we impulse to the zone. As you can see, we're making a nice deep RSI leg here. I really like how deep the RSI goes down here. As you can see, we're continuing down. I would like to see a wave 5 make divergence. So that's how I know that we're not done yet. If this is truly impulsing for the X leg, okay? We're not making any divergence yet. So that's telling me we're continuing down overall. Hopefully, okay? None of this is ever guaranteed. It's just giving you my ideas. So if we're not done going down, then that's what's going to give us our rise in indices and cryptos. Okay. Okay. I think that about covers everything for now. I got to start getting kids ready for school. I just wanted to give you guys my overall analysis. You know, the scalp thing. Man, look, you know, sorry if you guys got stopped out in this zone, but it's trading. You know, don't risk what you can't lose. That's why I don't like doing these small frame plays. We were expecting X to go here one more time, and it didn't. So it is what it is. For now, my general thought is that this is an impulse up, and we're going to, you know, elongate something like this. General idea. Not perfect, but general idea. Okay. With a maximum target zone for now as 38,309. As this wave unfolds, what I would like to see is that we come up, test, and then we find a bottom. Okay. Or not find a bottom, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. That we get a pullback and support. If we come up here and we break this W and this B leg, what's proposed B comes down and breaks X, then this will no longer be valid and we'll be doing a double, probably something like this. Okay. Well, not even like that. That's not even right, but I'll have to change all the wave counts. So again, you want to see break of X, hold this, break of W, hold the X as low. That's what we want. Not going to make predictions until we get confirmations. Break of the W, hold the X. Okay. If we don't break the W and then we break the X, all this changes and it turns into something completely different. But for now, this is what it looks like for Elliott wave. Okay. For now, this is what it looks like. So, be really nice to see a little bit of a bullish cross here on the MAs in the next couple hours. Will we get this bullish cross, which I think is possible because we have more upside on indices. Okay. I would like to see some continued upside here, which would give us our general direction here for Bitcoin. And it would also bring us up on things like Litecoin and Ethereum and put us into some nice zones. Okay. All right, everybody. That really is it. Covered the last thing, which is my USDX. It's really what I wanted to look at for this week. I'll post a midday update today. And then every day the rest of this week, I'll just be doing short-term analysis. I wanted to cover the long-term at the beginning of the week and get you guys on the same page. So, good luck, everybody. Safe trading out there. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.